A tsunami is a series of ocean waves with very long wavelengths, typically hundreds of kilometers, caused by large-scale disturbances of the ocean, usually resulting from underwater earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. When an earthquake occurs beneath the ocean floor, the energy released during the seismic event can cause the water column above it to be disturbed, generating powerful waves that radiate outward from the epicenter. These waves travel across the ocean at high speeds, often unnoticed as they have small amplitudes in deep water. However, as the waves approach shallow coastal areas, their speed decreases, and their height increases dramatically, resulting in a rapid and destructive rise in sea level. It is this sudden rise in water level that can cause extensive damage and loss of life when the tsunami reaches the coast. Today, we are going to see which were the 5 biggest tsunamis waves. On the 28th of September 2018, a shallow, large earthquake struck in the neck of the Minahasa Peninsula, Indonesia, with its epicenter located in the mountainous Donggala Regency, central Sulawesi. The magnitude 7.5 quake was located 70 kilometers away from the provincial capital Palu, and was felt as far away as Samarinda on East Kalimantan and also in Tawau, Malaysia. This event was preceded by a sequence of 4 shocks, the largest of which was a magnitude 6.1 tremor that occurred earlier that day. This tsunami struck Palu, sweeping shoreline houses and buildings on its way. The combined effects of the earthquake and tsunami led to the deaths of an estimated 4,340 people. This makes it the deadliest earthquake to strike the country. The Indonesian Agency for Meteorology, Climatology and Geophysics confirmed that a tsunami had been triggered, with its height reaching an estimated maximum of 4 to 7 meters, striking the settlements of Palu, Donggala and Mamuju along its path. The earthquake caused major soil liquefaction in areas in and around Palu. In 2 locations, this led to mudflows in which many buildings became submerged, causing hundreds of deaths, with many more missing. The liquefaction was considered to be the largest in the world and was deemed as rare. The April 2011 Miyagi earthquake occurred off the coast of Miyagi Prefecture. The magnitude 7.1 thrust earthquake was classified as an aftershock of the March 11 Thoku earthquake. Several tsunami warnings were issued for the northeastern coast of Honshu. However, they were all cancelled 90 minutes later. Over 3 million households in the area were left without power, and several nuclear plants suffered minor malfunctions. There was no major structural damage, but the quake killed at least 4 people and injured 141. Radioactive water consequently leaked out of spent fuel pools at 3 of its reactors, though no change in the radiation levels outside the plant was reported. 5 coal-powered power plants also shut down, adding to concerns over energy shortages. No major losses were reported, though some roads sustained damage, as well as a few homes. The Nikkei index fell sharply at the close of trading, but rebounded the next day when reports of limited damage were confirmed. Fukushima I power plant, which had earlier been struck by the 11th of March quake, evacuated its workers as a safety precaution, but the plant sustained no further damage from this quake. On the 26th of December 2004, a major earthquake with a magnitude of 9.1 to 9.3 struck with an epicenter off the west coast of northern Sumatra, Indonesia. The undersea megathrust earthquake, known by the scientific community as the Sumatra Andaman earthquake, was caused by a rupture along the fault between the Burma Plate and the Indian Plate, and reached a Mercalli intensity up to 9 in some areas. A massive tsunami with waves up to 30 meters, 100 feet high, known in some countries as the Boxing Day tsunami after the Boxing Day holiday, devastated communities along the surrounding coasts of the Indian Ocean, killing an estimated 227,898 people in 14 countries in one of the deadliest natural disasters in recorded history. The direct results caused major disruptions to living conditions and commerce in coastal provinces of surrounded countries, including Aceh, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Tamil Nadu, India, and Khao Lak, Thailand. Banda Aceh reported the largest number of deaths. It was the most powerful earthquake ever recorded in Asia, the most powerful earthquake in the 21st century, and the third most powerful earthquake ever recorded in the world. It had the longest duration of faulting ever observed, between 8 and 10 minutes. It caused the planet to vibrate as much as 10 millimeters and also remotely trigger earthquakes. As far away as Alaska, its epicenter was between Simuliu and mainland Sumatra. The plight of the affected people and countries prompted a worldwide humanitarian response, with donations totaling more than 14 billion United States dollars. On the 11th of March 2011, earthquake of magnitude 9.0 to 9.1 undersea megathrust earthquake occur in the Pacific Ocean, 72 kilometers east of the Oshika Peninsula of the Tohoku region. It lasted approximately 6 minutes, causing a tsunami. It is sometimes known in Japan as the Great East Japan Earthquake. It was the most powerful earthquake ever recorded in Japan, and the fourth most powerful earthquake recorded in the world. The earthquake triggered powerful tsunami waves that may have reached heights of up to 40.5 meters in Miyako in Tokusaiwa Prefecture, and which, in the Sendai area, traveled at 700 kilometers per hour and up to 10 kilometers inland. Residents of Sendai had only 8 to 10 minutes of warning, and more than 100 evacuation sites were washed away. The snowfall which accompanied the tsunami and the freezing temperature hindered rescue works greatly. For instance, Ishinomaki, the city with most deaths, was 0 degrees centigrade as the tsunami hit. The official figures released in 2021 reported 19,759 deaths, 6,242 injured, and 2,553 people missing. And a report from 2015 indicated 228,863 people were still living away from their home. The tsunami caused the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster, primarily the meltdowns of 3 of its reactors, the discharge of radioactive water in Fukushima and the associated evacuation zones, affecting hundreds of thousands of residents. Many electrical generators ran out of fuel. The loss of electrical power halted cooling systems, causing heat to build up. The heat buildup caused the generation of hydrogen gas. Without ventilation, gas accumulated within the upper refueling hall and eventually exploded, causing the refueling hall. The earthquake and its aftermaths resulted in a 0.47 percentage point decline in Japan's real GDP growth. In the year following the disaster, the 1958 Lituya Bay earthquake occurred on July 9, with a moment magnitude of 7.8 to 8.3 and a maximum Mercalli intensity of 10 extreme. The strike-slip earthquake took place on the Fairweather Fault and triggered a rockslide of 30 million cubic meters and about 90 million tons into the narrow inlet of Lituya Bay, Alaska. The impact was heard 80 kilometers away, and the sudden displacement of water resulted in a mega tsunami that washed out trees to a maximum elevation of 524 meters at the entrance of Gilbert Inlet. This is the largest and most significant mega tsunami in modern times. A total of 5 people were killed in the event. 3 people died on Kontak Island at the mouth of Yakutat Bay, when the beach they were standing on subsided 100 feet below sea level. The other 2 died when their boat was sunk by the tsunami at Lituya Bay. 2 were rescued from a dinghy after their boat sank. The others managed to pilot out of the bay on their own power, but at great risk, as the water continued to swirl unpredictably. This was our today's video. Thanks for watching. See you next week with new video.